How's everybody doing? This is just going to be a little Q&A slash, you know, study session. Anybody take a look at Stacy's new video? Has anybody noticed that he's getting a little bit more easier to understand? I think he's listening. That's a nice coil at the high for the dump here. So, yeah, we fell right back into Friday's range. Look, this is Friday's range, the high and the low. And we literally been trading. I think Stacy talked about this in his video. I don't know if it was specifically SPX. All good. Can you tell us a bit more about your VIP? Yes, I can. So, in the VIP, you get to edit in the signal channels. So I have like signal channels for each signal: closing breakout, first red day, first green day, inside day. So what I do and what everybody does is create their own playbook. Like everybody gets their own personal playbook. So that's pretty cool. And then on top of that, I go live. I do live breakdowns, and I go live for New York session on Tuesdays, and I go live for London sessions on Thursdays. But on Thursdays, I'll like do back and forth between London and Asian session. So I may do Asian one Thursday, then the next week I'll do London session. But what stays the same is New York session every Tuesday, and then Thursday is a switch between Asia and London session. So I go live, I do live breakdowns. I'm usually going live with my group. I try to do it 3 to 4 times a week because I find it that it's important, especially after a trade day, like around like 11 a.m. That's when everybody's like, whether they won or they lost, they're in their head. So I try to go live right after, so that they don't like self-sabotage, or how that goes, the tilt stuff. But lives, signal channels, what else? What else? What else? I'm missing a lot. It's just because I do a lot. Dang. What else do I have? Oh, I got a vault. So it's like a bunch of videos all compiled into one. I actually have my own little secret playlist of videos for my members. I'm about to start a members only playlist for my members on YouTube. So shout out Rodney and Nicole, my members. Y'all are my first 2 members. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining. But yes, I try to just go live a lot. I got about almost 600 in there, 600 people in my Discord, which is crazy. It's only been a month. It blew up. So I got a lot of planned out. Like I'm about to come out with a off the porch program. So what off the porch is basically I have a life coach, like an actual life skills coach that is teaching you mindset and creating a flow chart for you. And then I have like the flow chart basically is a personalized trading plan based on what your signal and setup is. So it's like a chart where you could just put on the wall or put on your desk, and you can just have that while you're trying to take the trade. So you just remember to stick to your rules. And then I also have an actual financial coach, like somebody to help you with your risk management. So he creates a plan for you, and then you get 2 live sessions in the package for me, explaining the signals and the setups. And then the second session is me creating you a personal playbook as we go through examples. So all of that is going to be combined into one package. I'm still working on it. It's fairly new. With the VIP, also you get the indicator. So this screener right here and all these levels that comes with the indicator. I'm actually updating it right now, and I plan on upgrading it so that it's mechanical. You just come to the charts, you look at your screener, you look at the signals, and you're like, okay, I'm only looking at these couple of pairs, and then you go on the charts and you execute. So that's the goal. VIP is just where I'm really at, where I'm chilling at. But my main thing is going live. So I'm constantly reinforcing over and over and over again, breaking it down into simplest terms. Also, I kind of have a different way of looking at the market. I planned on doing some videos because there's things that you need to look for, just in general. Like it's things that you can add for confluence for your confidence. But that's what's included in my VIP. If I think of, I'm pretty sure I'm missing like maybe one or two things, but that's like the big things. So we would love to have you. Um, Especially during the trading week, like we just be trading, yo. I got like a lot of heavy hitters in there, people that are already established and just killing it. So it's nice because you get different viewpoints. You get to, talk to certain people who have already like, mastered their strategy. So they have very interesting outlooks on things. Um, Sometimes it helps me too. So it's just a good time, honestly. It's a good time. But yeah, y'all, markets just opened up. I know a lot of people, like, especially in my general chat, they like hopping right on the charts. As soon as the market opens Sunday, they're already in trades that night. And I'm like, how? The market didn't even show you. I mean, I guess if you're looking from Friday, but it's like, I would much rather wait to see how at least Monday closes. Monday is the opening range. Do, 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 do. I hope everybody's having a good day. Welcome all who just joined. I am your host, Q. And today we're going to have a great study session. Anybody looking at anything? And they are all Stacy style of traders, right? Oh, of course. Of course. Heck yeah. That'd be confusing if I had different types of traders in there. Everybody's a Stacy Burke trader. Pound Swissy doing this thing. Yeah, hey, check out Bitcoin. Have a nice setup on Sunday. Hey, it was a guy that just joined my VIP. He was hitting me up. He was like, "Yo, I watched your videos and I took this trade on Bitcoin and I passed my funded challenge." I was like, "Hegs, yeah." Shout out to him. I need to figure out his name. I want to shout him out. Hey, if you were the guy that told me that you passed your funded challenge from my videos on Bitcoin, drop something in the chat. That's so fire. That's so fire. Bitcoin. Man, y'all, this is a fire 3-day setup. Holy cannolis. Wow, was it news? No, I just melted. This is first red day? Wait a second. Who knew about this and didn't tell me? Can you see? Yes, I will look at that. Look at this 3-day setup though. I know a lot of people took this, but this is a 3-day setup. Why? Because you have a first red day, right? At the high. So let's just say, okay, where's Monday? No, this is Friday. Actually, let's just do Saturday. I forgot this was 24 hours, y'all. That's kind of crazy. Let me not do that for this then. But this was a nice 3-day setup. You had a peak formation high that was created on Saturday. Then you had a lower lows on the inside that breached the other side of the range. So this was a failed breakout with lower lows. Lower lows in the inside. It breached the low, the previous day's low. It pumped back up to the most recent high. We talk about this in my VIP chat. Sometimes if you're already on the back side, it won't go all the way up here. When you've already breached the previous day's low and made a lower low, it will pump back to the most recent low and drop. First TP, where the pump started, technically here. But once it traps traders on the other side, it's going for stops. So this is gone. This is gone. Holy. It just breached the weekly low, which is here. So yeah, this was an amazing ACB setup. Whoever took that, congratulations. It was Black Mac, I believe. Yo, Black Mac, shout out to you for passing your funded accounts with Bitcoin. Honestly, that's what's up, bro. I can't wait to grow together in the VIP. Y'all are killing it. Absolutely killing it. Closing breakout, first red day, high of week, first red day trade. Long EA first phase pass. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Congratulations, Joe Lock and Load. Joe Lock and Load. First phase pass. You got this. Keep going. Keep going. Don't even worry about the phases. You already know what you're doing, bro. Once you pass the first phase, it's pretty much it from there. Yeah, that was a nice 3-day setup right here. Peak formation high, peak formation. Actually, it started from here. So we had a pump day, and then we had a first red day trade. Wow. That actually continued this day. It just straight up melted. Let's go to AUD, JPY, right? Yeah. AUD, JPY. Nice. 3-day long setup. You got 3 closing breakouts. This is actually the monkey hammer template. Hint, hint. 1, 2, 3, drop. Either way, this is 3-day longs. So sell. Sold Asia session. Probably missed it though, huh? What time is it? 9:17? It's still it's down low though. We're approaching where we're at the monthly. What is this? The monthly high? Yeah. Is it though? Yep, that is super high up. We broke out the monthly high, pulled back, coiled, and now we're going up. We're in an uptrend. No major swings broken. So if you can see, we just been kind of hitting this support right here. So honestly, it just depends on what it does. Could be a nail and bail because we're going up. I see a higher high that started this dump, coil, and pump. So this sell could just be a nail and bail, potentially. Because we broke out, we pulled back, we failed here, and now we're making higher highs in the inside of this dump. So it just depends. It's too early to tell right now. It just market just opened up. I would give it some time to set up. Right now, it's in the middle. You don't want to trade in the middle. You either want to trade up high or down low. Oh man, I had a light bulb moment of drawing the box for Wednesday as opening range. It made it visually easier for seeing buy low and sell high setups. You know the sauce now. You know the sauce? That's it right there. Did you watch Stacy's new video, Evolve Fitness 3080? If you watch Stacy's new video, all he's doing is marking Friday's high and Friday's low and extending it because Friday's closing price is where everything starts. So why not stretch the levels across, right? Friday's where everything starts. So we're still in Friday's range, right? We breached the high though. You see that? We make a higher high. So we dump back down, we coil at the weekly close, we get a buy setup. Which continues to go higher until we make another higher high. We dump, coil, and pump in New York, higher highs. So we just been making higher highs. After we broken out of Friday's close, we were stuck in Friday's range for 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually 1, 2. And then we broke out of Friday's range on Wednesday. But buy low, sell high. In this case, the only time we got the sell high set up was technically here, but it wasn't much at all, actually. Little nail and bail. But that's literally what you're doing and what he's doing. He's marking the high and the low. Same thing as if I was on the day. A lot of people Stacy marks Fridays high and low. Some people mark Mondays because it's opening range. I used to mark Monday. I don't do it anymore, but I would mark Monday's opening range. And even it's the same thing. Like you're trading. This was stuck in Monday's range, right? So this is in the inside until we break out here, pull back on top of Monday's range for the buy setup in Asia, break out, pull back, fail for the sell in London. Then we come back to, what is it, Monday's high, and we get a pin hammer off of Monday's high for the buy in New York. We're kind of just like going back and forth. We're in a box on top of a box. Funny enough, a box on top of a box. So that's kind of how I see the box. I mean, it's either you're going to sell high or you're going to buy low. Simple as that. If you are new, if you just tuned in, hit that subscribe, hit that like button for me, please. Thank you so much. Really, y'all, it really just be regular market structure. You know, I'm making higher highs. I've broken out, breakout, pull back, trend, all the way up until it fails at this high, right? We make a higher high, we pull back, we fail. Now we're reversing lower lows on the inside. It's the same thing as if you're looking for a pump coil dump and a dump coil pump on the day. Just put price in a box from Monday, Friday, whatever you want to do, whatever floats your boat, but price is in a box. So if I go and put, let's go and do this Monday, right? And then I'm going to show you the first day of the month. Actually, let me not use a box. Let me use a line. This is Monday's high. Let's get a square on. We extend that. And Monday's low. Because everything starts from Friday's closing price, but Monday's opening range. So I used to draw my boxes like this, right? And off the rip, we break out on Tuesday, higher high here, dump, coil, and pump right off the EMA for Asian session. This is AUD JPY, by the way. So I'm looking at this trade during from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Can you please clarify if the first red day and first green day, the close below or above the previous day or the current day's open? Got confused by a video I saw earlier. Absolutely, I will explain that right after I explain this box. We break out of the Monday's high, higher high, dump, coil, pump, making higher highs, right? Then we just kind of go into consolidation at the close of the day. We kind of make another higher high here, which calls it for a dump, coil, pump through Asia. But the point is, when markets break out, they only do three things, right? Breakout, pullback, trend, breakout, fail, reverse, and breakout in range. So we already know we're in breakout. This day closed as a close-in breakout. So we have 1 day of breakouts. Now we have 2 days of breakout, right? On this day, we actually get a sell high setup. This is actually my type of trade. A lot of people say, well, if it breaks out of the previous day's high, how do you know if it's going to trend or reverse? Well, easy. They look different. Look at, y'all can't tell. Actually, I showed an example on SPX. I will show it right after I answer this question. I will continue to go over this. I'm going to put a hold on it, though, because I want to show y'all something. But let me answer this question real quick. Okay, so let me clarify a first red day and a first green day. I don't like this one. I don't like it. Let me do a different one. Let's see. Let me just go to SPX since I'm already on there. Okay. So when you get a first red day and a first green day first is when you have a day that closes above the open, not above the previous day's range, above the open. So if the open was here and it closed up here, that's a first green day. And a first green day will happen after multiple days of shorts. You at least want to see 2 days of shorts before you see a first green day. So a first green day, you'll be at the low of the week. You see this red line right here is my weekly level. We trap sellers at the low, right? We're trapping low people that are selling low on the week, just to reverse and close as a first green day. Now they're trapped beneath the weekly low. So the net when they reverse like that, they're going for stops. These stops, these stops, these stops all get liquidated basically. So boom, you got your first green day. You come to the chart the next day, you got a breach of the previous day's high, which is, what we want to see. Higher high, dump, coil. We actually hit the closing price. But remember, this is how I draw my boxes on the day. Coincidentally, after we make this higher high, we dump to this low. This high was created by this low. This is my most recent low. So we higher high, we dump down, we coil coincidentally at the low. Would you rather sell low or buy low? Dump, coil, pump. Minimum target where the dump occurred. So that is a first green day, a first red day. I'm not even going to show that one. That's not a true first red day. This would be a first red day here. So we're at the high of the week, right? The current high of the week. We have a pump day, closing breakout. Then we have a day that closes below the open, not below the previous day's range, below the open. And usually you don't want your first red days and first green days to be large in size. You kind of want them to be, distinguishable, but you want to see lower lows created on that first red day. So come the next day, you're looking for a sell high setup. And remember, I only like to sell from the high of day or the previous high of day. So it's either going to be here or it's going to be here. So if this is my high of day, look what happens right before we breach the low, the previous day's low. Lower low equals pump, coil, dump at the previous day's high. So this would have been a trade I'd have been looking for. So remember, when price starts going vertical, you're thinking a top. This is nothing but a trap and shift, okay? So that's what you're looking for first red days and first green days. You need to be at a weekly or a monthly level. You need to have a pump day, you need to have a first red day, which is the signal, and then it needs to be an effect, meaning that the first red day needs to work out. And usually that's my bias until I get a first green day, which happened technically here. This was the true first green day because look, 1, 2, and then we had a first green day. But honestly, this was also an inside day. This is your true first green day because it's coming off the weekly low. So sometimes you may get confused because you're like, well, I had a consecutive days of shorts. Why isn't this a first green day? Why didn't it happen? And it actually did happen. So if you would have waited until you got here and took the buy, that works too. But I like to be at weekly levels. So I'd have waited for this to close to take this. More range that way. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to show you guys something about how to distinguish trends from reversals, or just basically how to know what's a trend and what's a reversal. I hope I didn't go this far. Let's see where it's at. Can I pull it up? That's the question. Let me see something real quick. Open file. Okay. I think everybody should see. No, y'all can't see it. That's a shame. But I can see download, open. I'm going to drop a picture for you guys in the chat. All right. Copy. Boom. Paste. Oh, don't tell me. Hold on. Let me see if I can add a picture. Poll members. So you're not gonna let me add a picture in here? That's crazy talk. Paste. Okay, I know what to do now. No, I don't know what to do. It, hold on. Save as. Okay. If anybody's in my VIP chat, I remember that I posted that picture between a trend and a reversal. If you can post that in the chat for me, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to find it though. Let's see. Uh-huh. I'm close. Here it is. Here it is, y'all. So let's say I get a closing breakout, right? Now let's talk about my last video. I think a lot of people are confused on what they need to look for. Because every time I talk to people about it, I get mixed reviews. But look at this closing breakout, right? My setup is this pump coil dump. This is the dump coil pump setup, right? So when I get the questions, well, how do you know if it's going to trend or reverse? Well, this looks different than this, right? This looks different than this. Now, what if you just told yourself that I only want to see this? You know how specific that is? This is the only two trades that I'm trading. It's either going to be at the previous day's high or it's going to be the high of day. Either way, I'm selling high because that's my setup. That's just what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything else. I'm selling high. So here, closing breakout, it breaches the high, makes a higher high. It starts to dump back down, and now it's coiling on top of the previous day's high, making higher highs in the inside. On the 15-minute chart, we get a dump. So when we come to the charts in New York, I trade New York. This is the 930 candle. It's trapping sellers beneath the previous day's high. We already know it's coiling. We already know we're breaking structure in the inside, which we dump back down. New York session opens up. Now we're printing side-by-side candles again, and we get a huge higher high. Now, remember, when I break structure, I draw a line across because that is the behavior of an uptrend. It will make resistance support every single time. Here, you see what I'm saying? So get specific. That's all. That's it. For this setup, for anybody who's trading sells from a close and breakout signal, this is my setup. You will see a pump first. Here, before your New York session, what's happening? Before New York session, what's happening? Lower lows, higher highs. Those are two different setups. That's why you need to get specific, because when you're coming to the chart, you're like, oh, I don't know, but what is it doing before your session starts? A dump coil pump is distinguishable between a pump coil dump. This looks nothing like this. So if there's no signal, you're not looking for a setup as the signal is the prerequisite. Yes, apps all the time. I'm never coming on the charts without a signal unless I'm a part of, not even then. I don't come to the charts without a signal. I don't even trade. If I come to the charts and I don't have a close and breakout signal, I guess I'm just not trading that day. Why would I when there's opportunities like these where I can just easily point them out? That's literally all you guys need to know. Like, you need a signal and you need a setup. And it's either going to be a dump coil pump or it's going to be a pump coil dump. Now, each signal produces a pump coil dump, dump coil pump. We're all trading the same pattern. The difference is that you're going off of a different signal than me, but we're all trading the same pattern. That the signals is a shortcut. That's why they're there for you. The signal is supposed to tell you, hey, a pump coil dump's happening, or hey, a dump coil pump's happening. When I get a close and breakout to the upside, we higher high, we pull back, we trend, we break structure. Now, isn't this a coincidence? Hold on. Hold on. When we break structure, draw it across. Breakout, pull. I'm telling you, that's all that the market does. That's all the market does. You don't even have to look at it like this. Breakout, pull back, trend. Let me do it again. Breakout, pull back, trend. This was actually a W pattern, which is very, very, very common in uptrends. Very common. As long as I'm not invalidating my lower lows, my higher lows, I'm good. Why would I wouldn't need to sell until I see something like this. Okay, we're breaking out of this structure, right? Remember, resistance becomes support in an uptrend, right? We know that about basic market structure. But look what happens here. We break out, we pull back, now we fail. We get a lower high and we broken out and made a lower low. Simple stuff, y'all. Sometimes it's going to be easy to point out, sometimes it's not. But when it's not easy to point out, that is the time where you say, I'm not entering the trade. Don't force anything. You don't have to. You do not have to force anything. If it doesn't look like this, skip it. That's why I have a watch list. Because now imagine me having a watch list, right? And I got like 1, 2, 3, 4 closing breakouts, and I got 4 screens of closing breakouts on my chart. And I'm just looking for the one that looks like this. It's that simple. But you get the pump, you get the coil. It's actually an M pattern locking in the high, right? And if you notice, we're on a 3-day long pattern. We got 1 day of longs, 2-day of longs, reversal trade, even more confluence for me, but I'm going off of a closing breakout signal. So lower low, we pump back up. Now, mind you, we're already on the back side of this move, right? Because when we make this lower low, now we are in a downtrend. That is a downtrend confirmed. We've failed at the high and made a lower low. So when we pump back up, we're going to pump up to the most recent high. I mark my most recent high made, and I mark my most recent low. Are we working the high or the low come New York time? This big red candle is 9:45. I kid you not. A lot of these trades happen between the hours of 9:45 to 10:30. Back tested. It happens the same way every time. If it doesn't happen here, you're waiting for 10 a.m. club. Even 10 a.m. club, look, it gives you the retest. You break out of the box. The price is fractal. You break out of the box and make a lower low. You pump back up and retest. What do we know about a downtrend? We know that when price breaks out, support becomes resistance. Support becomes resistance. Support, resistance, all the way up until it fails. Now we have a higher high, higher low. When we get the higher low, guess what it's retesting? Resistance. Just follow that pattern, y'all, and y'all will be just fine. Hey, Faze, is there any Stacy Burke students who be teaching just like you? Sniper. That is the only one I know. Sniper. Other than that, I don't know anybody else that teaches. I know that Sniper doesn't teach market structure. He doesn't teach market structure. He just teaches the box. He's been teaching the box and the same stuff that I'm teaching. But I just started teaching market structure because I feel like people need it and it helps me. Close and breakout, sell, high setup. Remember, I'm only selling the previous day's high or the current day's high. A lot of the times, the close and breakout will give you the pump. Most breakouts fail. Higher low, higher low, higher high, lower lows. Here and here, right? Now, mind you, we're at the previous day's high, making lower lows in the inside. We break back inside the previous day's low and make a lower low. This low, now this low is lower. And we're at the low of day, right? Making a lower low, pump, coil, dump. And where do we pump to? Where we broke structure from. Remember, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high. Well, actually, higher high, higher low. Higher high, break, lower low, lower high, lower low. We breached the current low of day and made a lower low on the day. We pump back up, we coil because now support, resistance. Can everybody see that? Boom. This was 10 a.m. club. So 9:45. We're already dropping. You would have had to catch 10 a.m. club in this trade. If you didn't get in up here, which you probably shouldn't because it's an index. This is 9:30. This is 9:45. So technically, I probably would have got in at 9:45 because I can see that this is a structure candle, which pulled up. And guess what it did? It retested where it broke out of, where it broke structure from. And then it goes lower low, lower highs. It's all the same thing. Wicks attract wicks. The markets really do the same thing every single week. It really does. It just depends on what you're looking for. What are you looking for? Are you being specific? This was a nice reversal trade, right? Buy setups. Let me stop talking about sells. I don't want to be biased. But look at this though. We're breaching lows, right? Close and breakout, close and breakout. So obviously we got a 3-day short pattern going on. But all I'm looking for, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, equal low. Hello, is your stuff working now? Huh? I'm glad you're teaching market structure. Sometimes I forget about it. Yeah, because there's so many strategies out there that they don't like, they kind of shied away from teaching these types of things. Not a lot of people have the patience for it. But honestly, I feel like why not go back to the basics? You want to keep it simple, right? Well, if we're going to keep it simple, let's go back to the basics. That's what, man, I feel like that's what a lot of people need. Let's go back to the basics because in order to understand a strategy, they don't tell you that you need to understand the basics of market structure. Good morning from India. Good morning. Good evening, good afternoon, but good morning to you. It is currently 9:44 p.m. here, so it's actually interesting and it's cool to have different people around the world join my chat. That's so cool. How are you? Hope you're doing good, sir. My stuff is working now. I'm sorry. It's not me, it's technology, man. It's also snowing. It's snowing here. But listen, we get lower highs and lower lows. So when we make an equal low and we know that we're on a 3-day short pattern, this is for my traders that only take 3-day shorts and 3-day longs. Remember, you need to get specific. Honestly, if you're just trading 3-day longs and 3-day shorts, that is easy. It's easy because You can't miss this. Let's say, even if you wanted to say, I want to see two closing breakouts in a row and I want it to reverse, look for that. What's wrong with that? Everybody want to do everything under the sun. All I'm looking for after a 3-day short pattern is I need to buy low, which means I'm going to buy the low of day or I'm going to buy the previous low of day. Right? So if I know this is my most recent low and we're coming back to that low and I know I need to see a buy, why would I want this to fail? I mean, why would I want this to succeed? I need this trend to fail and show me that it wants to go up. So while people are buying this, right? Because I'm not buying. This is at 9 a.m. This is an indice, right? So, me personally, yes, I'm not going to say you can't buy it because you can. You absolutely can. But me personally, I'm waiting till after 9:30. I've seen crazy things last week from the indices. And I hate being stop hunted when my direction is right. I hate that. That's like the most irritating thing when you get in a trade and they stop you out just to go in your direction. I can't deal with it anymore. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the higher high in the inside, right? Higher high. Once it fails, higher high. Guess what it's going to retest? The structure that it broke. Higher high, dump, coil on top of the structure that it broke, pump. Higher high, higher low, right? Higher highs in the inside, dump, pump, right off closing price. Higher high, higher low. Equal high, you get to sell in New York. You see what I mean? You need to know basic market structure. What throws me off is the fact that this could just continue to trend. Could it not? It could continue to trend. It could continue to reverse. It can do whatever it wants to do, but what do you want to do? That's the question. You don't have to look at all of this. You can, like I said, you can just say, okay, I see a close and breakout short. I take buy, sells, reversal trades from the previous day low or the low of day. Doesn't matter if it wants to trend, if it wants to reverse. I don't care about any of that at all. What am I looking for? What are you hunting for? So when people ask me, oh, is it going to trend or reverse? I don't know. What does it do in my session? What does it do? Well, we're at the low. This is the most recent low. We've been in a downtrend. It failed. Now I need confirmation that we're about to go up. Higher high in the inside. We dumped down. Now we're coiling where we broke structure from. Boom. Because the current month is in breakouts. No, look at earlier comment. Oh, sorry. Sorry. So Euro GBP, I'm looking. Okay, you're at Euro GBP. Let me go there first. Sorry. Wow. Choppy. I'm looking at this and I notice a daily level was breached, giving us lower low. Can this be considered a first red day? It's at the high of month and previous high of month. What sell setups make sense here? Possibly. Yes. I need to see the whole story. I can see that we're coiling. So, what session do you trade? It's currently in an uptrend right now. It hasn't shown you that it wants to go to the backside yet until we make lower lows. That's my confirmation. This still looks like front side behavior. Okay, you trade New York. So, yeah, just see what New York offers you because right now we're still uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. It could very much well, just like it breached the low here, it breached the high here, and it could very much well dump coil pump right off the weekly close. But just see what it looks like during New York. That's my best advice because it's breached the low and it's breached the high. So it could very much well fail at this high, like it's failed before, But you won't know because look, you're in a range, you're in a box. So technically, I would sell high. I would sell high. I would actually be looking for sales. But you know what? It could happen in London. It is a Euro GBP. It could happen in London. Uh, I'm not gonna lie. I don't speak Spanish, but I know what hola is. I know what hola is, and I know that you're from Mexico. Until what time of the New York session is okay to open a trade? So if you're we're talking about indices, um, don't look for a trade till after 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. If you are trading currencies, start looking at 8 a.m., especially with metals because metals move early. They tend to move earlier, especially gold. Sometimes gold be gone. Yeah. I mean, you get lucky. Like here, you got the higher high. We dumped, we coiled, and we pumped off the previous day's high. Nice trend trade. But sometimes I be missing a trade. Like here, if you not, paying attention, you could be all the way up here by the time 9:30 happens, So just look at 8 a.m. to see what's happening. This is a trend trade, which is harder for me to catch. But you broken out and made a higher highs and higher lows. And then you get to the previous day's high and we break out, we pull back, we fail. Now we make lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. Wow, this just went straight up, huh? Mm. I feel like this is not going to be a nice little nail and bail sale setup for gold. I already read that. Wait, no, I didn't. But just regular stocks. Is there any tickers you trade like Apple, Google, or Amazon? I don't. But you know what's funny? My screener can actually read stocks too. That's cool, right? Like I could put all stocks pairs up here, Amazon, Google, all of those. But it works on any single market. It works on every market. So doesn't matter if it's stocks or not. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You definitely hex, yeah. This works on any market. Like even if you get my indicator, you can put stocks up here. Euro looked like it had a peak formation high and peak formation low, pump for a dump. Euro what? Euro USD, Euro GBP, US, the one we just looked at for Nas. You said for Nas. Whoa. Ain't that crazy? Oh my God. Friday, right? I was looking for the sell high setup because I'm like, boom, first red day. Don't mind if I do. We breached a low. So I'm like, I'm waiting. But by the time New York ended, we all the way up here. I didn't even get my trade. It started coiling, making lower lows. I'm like, can't take it. It's outside my session just for it to happen. That's a shame. See, I sometimes indices is eh. Nice buy low setup though. Euro GBP. Right. What did you say? The peak formation high, peak formation low. Doesn't it? That's why I said it's sometimes it'd be too soon to tell. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, we breached the previous day's low. This is a failed breakout confirmed. We are at this is the weekly. Is this the weekly low or high, y'all? This is the weekly high. Do we have a signal? There's not even a signal here, y'all. So we not even looking for this. There's no signal here. So technically, I would not trade this. There's no signal here. None. In order for this to be a 3-day setup, I needed to wait because I need a peak formation low and a peak formation high, and this could very much well keep going up. We're still showing front side behavior. Um, DXY correlates euro. What is the correlation for gold and silver without using? I don't use correlation, but I do know that AUD USD is the correlation for gold. AUD USD moves before gold does. If you, let me not say that. Let me not say that. Yeah. So correlation for gold is AUD USD. Oh, somebody already said it. Nice. Oh, wait. No, they didn't. I think they just posted stuff for me to look at. Okay. Gold and wait, did you, Summit P19? Are these charts that you want me to look at? Welcome, everybody that's new in here. I hope you guys are having a great night. If you haven't already, hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Anybody new, hit that subscribe button. I am a Stacy Burke trader, and I do this on a weekly basis. I'm actually about to know they correlate. Oh, okay. Didn't know that AU CAD. I didn't know they correlate. That's interesting. Thank you for that. De Niro, I haven't seen her do any examples of that working on regular stocks. Dang, I'm here too. But I don't trade stocks. I don't trade stocks. They work on stocks. I could put stocks up here, but I don't you're not going to see me trading stocks. I trade forex pairs, not forex pairs, but indices and metals. That's it. But I'm telling you, you can put a stocks up here. Like if I go down, will you trade stocks? This isn't a stock. Let's do Amazon. Boom. Amazon inside day. So you can put stocks on your chart. I just don't trade stocks. But it happens on any market. I'm not gonna switch my setup. You know what I'm saying? But it's all the same. Let me actually go back and change that because I don't want Amazon. Me don't want Amazon. I took off US 30. All right. What platform you use to trade? So I was trading on a personal account and I use Gates FX as my broker. And I use Trade Locker, but I mark my charts up on TradingView because I like to use my screener, my indicator, and then I'll take trades using my broker, which is Gates FX. I don't have any problems with them. I've withdrawn a substantial amount, so they're cool. I have no problems. I'm actually about to get a prop firm account. I'm just trying to decide if I want futures or forex. I'm leaning more towards forex, honestly. I don't want to deal with futures. I just don't want to have to deal with learning it. So I plan on putting maybe 1 to 2K in my personal account and then getting a funded. Hopefully I can get a 50K. That'd be nice. Do you wait, say that one more time. I don't know what TOS is. On an inside day, do you buy or sell? I sell. I'm a sell trader. I take sell setup. So if I get an inside day, GBP is an inside day. It's no question I'm selling. GBP is, yeah, it's an inside day. So for me to look for a sell here would be actually kind of perfect. I'm not going to lie. But like I said, I would need to see structure broken, lower low, pump, coil, and dump type thing. Right now, it just doesn't look ready to me. Honestly, it probably won't happen until London, but that's what I look for. Cells. It doesn't matter what signal it is. I'm looking for cell setups. Think or swim. What is that? Oh, think or swim. I don't I've heard of it, but I don't know what exactly that is. I've definitely heard about it though. Is that a broker? Huh. This is nice right here. It's mostly for stocks, right? Oh yeah, okay. I don't use that. Nah. I'm just a forex girl. Not gonna lie to y'all. Lower low, pump, coil. I mean, I'm selling high all day. All day I'm selling high. These are the easy ones, right? A lot of people be so quick to press the button, but it's like, where's your confirmation? We got the lower, the higher low, the higher high, boom, higher low, fail, lower low, pump, coil, dump. And where do we retest? Support. So pretty soon, guys, I'm going to be transitioning my lives into my members' lives because I want to start to build my members only community up. So pretty soon I'll be transitioning to members only lives so I can really lock in. I got two people. Shout out Nicole, shout out Rodney. Yeah, guys. Lower high, lower low, lower high, equal low. We getting higher highs, we dump and then we pump, boom. We're still pretty much front side here. Mostly for stocks. Anybody have any questions while I'm up here? I look for the same things every day. This not my setup. Closing breakout short. I could have sold high. This is GU. So I'd have been looking for it in London. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Because this doesn't happen until after the session. But still, lower low, boom, pump, coil, M pattern at the high of day. Remember, if I'm not at the previous high, I need to be selling high. That's what I'm looking for every single time. It's mostly doesn't matter. I need a signal the day before. Look what we have here. Closing breakout, first red day. Remember, I need to be at a weekly high level from Monday to Friday. We are at the weekly high. I get a closing breakout. I get a first red day. Notice the size of this first red day and the fact that you can distinguish these lower lows, lower low, lower low, lower low. Beautiful, because now we have range so that we can take the trade, right? I want range for my setups. This isn't my setup, but I'm just, giving an example. So first red day, boom, we are up high in GU. And we're at the previous day's high. And I told you I wanted to sell, right? What's the criteria? We've already made lower lows. I'm already looking to sell high. I have a pump when I come to the charts in London. Lower low in the inside. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Equal low, equal high, lower low. Pump to the previous day's high. Sell, 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 sell. Lower low, pump, coil. Notice what structure did we breach? It will retest. It will retest every time. That was a good example. Wow, I wanted to see that example explained. I'm looking at EU. Hey, Nicole. Mostly for stocks, right? Wait, that was a good example. Wow, I wanted to see that example explained. What example? The one I just explained? Or EU? Hey, girl, hey. Lower low. This one or EU? This one was clean, y'all. It happened the same way every single time. After this first red day, the first red days and first green days will guide you. Those are directional bias signals. So this is not surprising after a first green day. And I really like when I get a closing breakout after a first red day trade. Monday, yeah. Here, this is Monday right here. This is also Monday. Oh Lord. This Monday? Next one. Give me a day. Give me like an actual day here. Um, May I still don't know which day is one day. What do you mean by which day is one day? Like day one? Thanks for the last example. The retest to the broke of structure is so valuable information. Man, I'm trying to tell you, February 2nd, Monday. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, this one right here. Yeah, I like these. The ones that I be losing at is when I'm already down here and I'm trying to take a pump coil dump from the previous day's low. I hate that. I always like to sell high. So close and breakout short. This is just a continuation trade, right? But it's actually a reversal trade because you're pumping to the high and then you're selling from the high. So that's why I like to sell the high of day because those are the safest place for your stop losses. That's hard one. Yeah. You just always remember to sell from the high of day and the previous high of day and you should be good. And as long as you're not switching up your bias or whatever, telling you, you'll be all right. All right. No, did I miss any questions? Because the high was far. Nope, I didn't miss any questions. Yes. When you break structure, a lot of the times I just draw it across. This is clean. This is clean. Lower low. You know what happens to people? They don't wait for this. They don't wait for this. The lower low. I like SPX. SPX, US 30, and Nas is those are my pairs. They just, they've been stuck in a range, so they ain't been acting right, as you can see. They've been in a higher time frame range a bit. They kind of just started breaking out, making higher highs and higher lows. But even for Nas, like we're literally now back inside of Friday's range. This was the high from here, and this was the low. Like we've literally just been trading back and forth inside of Friday's range. We've made a lower low here though, which we pumped, coiled, and started to dump. So I'm interested to see if it's going to go down because look, even on the weekly, we've breached the weekly level, lower low on a weekly level. So I'm thinking pump, coil, and dump. But I don't know because now, well, technically we haven't made a higher high, technically. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I'm really not interested in trading the indices until the backside of the week. Me personally, because I need to see something. Is that my son? Hi. Daddy finna come get you. He's coming. Oh, my son, y'all. My bad. Futures. A lot of people trade futures. Whoa. Look at this one. Close and breakout sell setup. Can't make this up, y'all. It's either you gonna sell. Well, actually, let me. After this, I'm talking about buys now. Who's buy traders in here? Who has buy setups? Boom. This is an ACB setup. Oh, I can't trade futures. No wonder I can't do this strategy. Futures has nothing to do with the strategy. Uh, Nobody takes buys. I trade forex. First green day trade in London, but this gave us a nail and bail short in New York. I do both. If there is no signal, you don't even look for setups to trade. No signal means get off the chart. No signal means exactly that, get off the chart. If I don't have a signal that day, I'm not trading, period. Like, no, absolutely not. That's just a good rule of thumb. It's just a good rule of thumb because it gives you time. Not even gives you time, but it just makes you a lot more disciplined. Cause like, there's traders that want to trade every single day. Like there's probably traders that do trade every single day, but what's the point? It's just like Stacy says, like you can get 2 to 3 good parabolic setups and just be good. You can be good. Like for me, I just like before I was considering the prop firms, I actually was flipping small accounts. And the crazy part is that when I started my YouTube, y'all, if you look at my older shorts, I'm literally showing my progress. Like every single trade, I'm showing it. Even in my Discord on my in my VIP, I'm literally showing them the process of me flipping like 150 to like $700, $800. So it's possible. And people think you need a bunch of money. You don't need a bunch of money. You don't. I know people that have flipped $50 into 1,000. Like it's never about the money. It's always about people not sticking to their trading plan. That's what kills people's progress. Um I have gaps though, phase 3 when I trade Apple, Amazon or Google. You have gaps? Gaps on your chart? On TradingView? Huh. Honestly, if you're trading stocks, I don't really think you need TradingView for that. We've broken out of the monthly level. We're literally at the monthly low. Yeah. Boom. We broke out. We pulled back. Now we're failing. And while we're failing, we're making higher highs. So we could see some buys this week for the indices. Adjust the contract. Yeah. It has to be some type of setting, or maybe the certain one you're looking at. In close and breakout, you trade reversals next day. Yes. I only trade reversals. I don't trade any other setup. You can trade, trends. But me personally, I trade reversals. So like here, this is a trend trade. Dump coil pump. Boom. Breach of the high. We're making higher highs. Boom. We don't invalidate this low. You got a nice little scalp buy from London. Well, it still isn't invalidated. You see what I'm saying? That's why market structure is so important, because it tells you what to hold and what to release. So if I know that I'm making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, higher high, and then it starts to break structure a bit, but as long as it doesn't invalidate my low, I'm good. Higher high, dump. A lot of people fell for this one. Not me. And you wouldn't have fell for it if you would have waited till after 9:30. That's the thing. That's why I tell people to wait until after 9:30. This candle probably was going up and then it slammed down till it hit the level and then it produced this big bullish candle. And remember, when price breaks structure, breakout, pull back, you know the rest. That's it right there. Now this is me. Boom. Closing breakout, sell. This looks different than buys. That's why I be so confused when I'm like, when people ask, are you buying or selling or how do you know? It's like, because they're two different things. They're two different things. Lower lows now, after we broken out, we've pulled back. Now we failed at this high. You will see this so many times. Fail, lower lows now. Once we break this low, I know we're good. So this is the low, which is actually the low for London. So when we break this low and make a lower low, we pump back up to the most recent high where the wicks are, and then engulfing candle, take entry. And since I'm in a bullish market, this is a nail and bail, and I'd be taking it to the previous day's high. Actually, we got stock traders in here. Nice. Stacy's global. Any ACB templates? This is an ACB setup. You got a close and breakout reversal trade. This is like a monkey hammer template. Actually, does everybody know what the monkey hammer template is? This was an ACB on Thursday. Monkey hammer template is when you have 1 day of longs, 2 day of longs, 3 day of longs, Thursday range expansion day, ACB. It depends on what session you're trading, right? So if you are trading New York, your ACB template will be peak formation low in Asia, peak formation high in London, lower lows in the inside, pump, coil, dump. It will be this formation. This is the formation for an ACB. If you're trading New York, this is an ACB template. You see the similarities? That's an ACB. Can I call this an ACB? Technically. Peak formation low, peak formation high, lower lows on the inside, pump, coiled up. But this is for real an ACB setup right here. This is what Stacy is talking about. And with a monkey hammer, right, it will wipe out the whole week's range. Notice this is Monday. It wiped out the whole week's range. 1, 2, 3. It's building up liquidity. Remember, the front side of the week is where they're building liquidity and manipulating you for the real move on the back side. Think about a weekly candle. On a candle, what's created first, the wick or the body? Think about that. The wick is created first before the body. So if I know that, let's see, I'll use here. Pretend this is the body of a candle. So let's say, okay, before this body is created, right, it's going to go up and make the wick of the weekly candle, and then it will go down and create the body. That's for any candle. That's why they always tell you that the front side of the week is where they're gathering liquidity for the real move on the backside because that's how a candle is created. Wick first, body second. Think about that. This is a week. This is a candle, one candle in a week. This is a weekly candle. If I know that this is my close, right? Well, technically, this is my open to the weekly candle, and this is my close. Then I know the front side of the week is creating the wick for the body. No trade on Mondays, right? I'm not going to say no trade. No trades for me on Mondays because after gathering a bunch of analytics for myself, Mondays are not my best days to trade. You can trade Mondays if you want, but I personally don't trade Mondays because I feel like there's not enough information in the week for me to go off of. Because before I used to mark my high and low of Monday and see how price would act at those levels come Tuesday and the rest of the week. This is Monday's high and low. Remember, you're selling high and you're buying low. Okay, so I mark my high and my low for Monday. Tuesday, we work the high, right? And then we completely collapse. We pull back. We're still inside Monday's range. And then, boom, we get another sell, which breaches the low. And then we pull back where? To Monday's low. Break out of Monday's range, pull back to Monday's low, and then we drop again. For 3-day short pattern, right? We break out the low, 1, 2, reversal, 3-day short pattern. Peak formation low is Asia low, and then peak formation high is London high, and then in New York, price breaks Asia low. This is ACB. ACB is exactly what you said. Sometimes it won't, like, it doesn't happen the same way all the time. So I'm going to show you multiple examples of an ACB setup. Because I think people focus too much on ACBs because they want to catch the range expansions. They want the big pips, but it's like, if you just keep trading your setup, it's going to happen regardless. So Thursday range expansion day, as long as you see this formation and you're trading New York, as long as you see Asia, London, New York, just like this ACB setup. Let me show you another one. This wouldn't be one. Let's see. This is the one. This is the ACB setup. You see what I mean? Asia, London, New York. Look at Stacy's old videos. This one's nice. From the low of day after a higher high, we dump back down to the low. Wow. ACB. Oh, I want to go back farther than that. We had a really good one. I believe it was on US 30. It will always be that formation. Look at that. Oh, man, it's dropping, y'all. Look at that. That's what I wanted right here. Look how wicky this week was. ACB here. You see what I'm saying? It's the same formation. You can't miss it. You just can't. Peak formation low, peak formation high, lower low on the inside, pump coil dump. ACB. This gotta be an ACB setup. Peak formation. Actually, this technically wasn't. This was news. This was a nice one. Peak formation high, peak formation low, higher highs on the inside, dump coil pump. Boom, boom. Yeah, that is clean, ain't it? I took this one. This one's so clean right here. This was from a closing breakout. Remember, I'm selling from the high of day or previous high of day. Boom, right off of the previous high. People don't have the patience to wait for this, but if you just wait for this, I made money off of this move right here. Lower low, pump, coil, dump. A lot of people say, well, it looks easier in hindsight. We don't trade until the next day. Literally. Even even in Stacy's videos, it's like he basically says the same thing I do. Like everything that I'm saying is nothing new. The only thing that he hasn't said that I haven't said, well, he's hasn't said that I've said, is market structure. That's the only thing. Other than that, everything that I'm talking about, he's definitely talked about in his videos. It's just harder for everybody learns differently. Boom. That was a nice sell off the high of day. Breakout, pull back, fail, reverse. Lower low, pump, coil dump, lower low, pump, coil dump. Remember, in a downtrend, what do we know about a downtrend? When we break out, we will retest. When we break out, we will retest up until we break out, we pull back, we fail, we reverse higher high, dump coil pump, higher high, higher high, higher high. Do you see what I'm saying? It's undeniable. You just need to get specific. That's all that is. First red day trade. Nice ACB setup from a first red day trade. Let's see what gold's doing right now. It is 10:27. Anybody trading right now? By chance? Is anybody trading? Yes, I do. Because a lot of people like shy away from it or kind of breeze on it. And I'm like, higher highs and lower lows are honestly, I feel like they're kind of important. Because that's what starts your trade. See, yeah. Too soon. Don't like this is still front side behavior. I'm looking for sales, man. If it's not clear to me, I'm not trading it. Sell high from the high of day. I need a lower low to start my trade. I come to the charts New York session and I ask myself, what is your most recent low and what is your most recent high? This is my most recent low. This is my most recent high. All right, 9. Okay, this created a lower low. Remember, I'm not doing anything until I get my lower low because that's what starts my trade. Lower low, here, we pump back up, right? We retest the high and then engulfing candle right off the EMA. This is probably news, honestly. Engulf at the high of day. This was a nice buy low setup. I trade SPX more, so I can't trade LOL. Do you only trade SPX? I had a trader in my community say that it would be easier for people to just trade one instrument. And it honestly kind of took me back a little bit. I'm like, one instrument? Honestly, I feel like that would be more challenging for people because the problem is that they trade too much. So you tell somebody to only trade one instrument, that's almost not going to happen at all. You'd have to be super disciplined to only trade one instrument. Please make a detailed video on ACB setups. They look great. I will. I don't want you to focus on ACB setups because that's not what's going to make you money by focusing on it. You should just focus on the setup that you're taking. And then if an ACB comes around, then that's great. But if you're just trading off of these levels, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get an ACB setup. But I will definitely make a video for you for sure on these setups here. Crazy part is you don't know when it's going to happen. You'll only know when you come to the chart and you're like, dang, this look good. This looks really good. Then you're like, okay, this is an ACB setup. But just remember how price works. You You see what I'm saying? Once you get that lower low, guess what it's going to do? Retest. Yes, oil and gold gets me sometimes. Russell, I'm in and out only. Yeah. Honestly, I don't trade gold that much, but gold is a tricky one. To me, at least. It has a lot of, look how many closing breakouts are on gold. It's absolutely insane. And then, like, I really just be so amazed that people tell me that they can't lock in on one single signal. Are you serious? You know how many opportunities you got in this week? What about here? How about here? Even here? Even here? Like, it's really just people locking in. Remove 35 drawings. Yep. All these closing breakout signals, and you mean to tell me that you can't lock in on one setup? Get out of here. Let's go to Russell. Okay. Russell's dumping too. That's what I wanted. Friday. Why didn't you give it to me? Closing breakout. You had to buy. So this is a buy setup for a closing breakout, buy low. This is my low of day before New York session comes around. And this is my high of day. Are we working the low or the high? When New York opens, we are working the low. Engulfing candle. Take entry. Long position. You got a big stop loss though. Huge stop loss. This probably wouldn't be something I would enter because I don't like big stop losses like this. I don't even like entering off of big candles. This is more my speed, but there's still a big candle right here. So you would have had to like just get in. Like you would have had to set a market order somewhere in here. Maybe you're on the lower time frame. This is the 15-minute. So I'm looking to get in closer to the low. Take it to where the pump started, which is here. That's what I always tell people. I'm like, the dump started here. So take it to where the dump started because it always gets there, literally. Then look, you breach the high, dump, coil, pump. Where the pump started. Well, the dump started, right? Higher highs. If I know inside of this dump, I'm making a higher high because it didn't completely make it back there. Higher high, we dump again. Am I changing my bias? No, because we have not invalidated a low. We're coiling at the low. Coil, pump. Don't care about this wick because I know what I'm looking for. That's the key. Hello, everyone. We'll have to rewatch the beginning dealing with the snow up here. We had like the teeniest bit of snow. But stay safe. Appreciate you for joining. And this will be posted so you can rewatch. Appreciate you joining though. Hope you're staying warm. Low of day, buy low setup. What is your setup? Higher high on the inside. We dump back down. Boom. What's your setup? That's the question. That is the $1 million question. Sell high setup. That was supposed to happen for me. But this was super ugly and it didn't even happen until the gap time. It's going to be days where you'll think it's an ACB setup and then it'll just nail and bail. As long as you are getting in and getting out, because a lot of people focus on, oh, I want the big trade. I want this and I want the ACB and but it's not about that. It's about the setup. You'll never get this if you can't understand why. This is a very common pattern. I call this the escalator elevator pattern. Escalator elevator. Barely gives you a chance to get in. You kind of just have to press the button with these. But super common pattern. I would honestly label this an ACB setup. How common it is. Trap and shift. Buy low. What setup are you hunting for? After a close and breakout, buy low, dump, coil, pump. Right at the start of the day, we had breached the high. We started going down. So a lot of people are thinking, oh, I see lower lows in the inside, but what is it doing? What are you looking for? If you're looking for the sell, there's no way I'm selling down here at all. Remember, I want to sell at the current high or the previous day's high. If we come to New York session and we're working the low, I'm not looking for a sell. Why? Because this is lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Now we're breaking structure. Technically, this high is lower, but if you're looking at internal structure, right? Let's not talk about internal structure because that's just going to confuse people. Just know this: lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, equal low. Boom. All I want to do is buy low. That's it. That's all. That's it. And I get in. What do I need this to do in order for me to take a buy? That's what you need to ask yourself when you're coming to the charts. What do I need to see for this to turn into an uptrend? Put it in the most simplest forms. Russell and oil can snap you. It absolutely can. I feel like any index can. You really got to be on your P's and Q's. Close and breakout down. Buy low from the previous day's low, right? After making a higher high, we dump back down. Boom. What are you looking for? And this is coming from 2 days of shorts. This is a 3-day long pattern. On Friday, you get the reversal. So you can be the type of trader to say, look, I don't want to deal with first red days. I don't want to deal with first green days, closing breakouts, inside days. Forget those. I need the simplest of the simplest of the simple. Look for 2 close and breakout longs and then sell. Look for 2 close and breakout shorts and then buy. It's that simple. Let's look for another one. 2 close and breakout, sell. Let's see. Let's find some more. 2 close. Okay, we did that. We did that. This one didn't happen. Let's find some more. Literally, you can just set your charts up like this. We already did that one. Close and breakout, sell. Close and breakout, sell. Do you see what I'm saying? This is why you got to get serious. Because a lot of people want to trade like Stacy. A lot of people want to trade like Sniper. A lot of people want to do the same things I'm doing. But what's easier for you to understand? Do you want to just be the type of trader that looks for 2-day longs and 2-day shorts for the 3-day reversal? That's completely fine. If you want to look for buys and sells, do that. But don't only take one setup. If I'm going to look for buys and sells, guess what? I'm taking one signal. And the only time that I would do that, 3-day longs and 3-day shorts. 1, 2, sell. 1, 2, buy. You see what I'm saying? Notice this goes with the weekly template. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday. Oh, wait. No, this wasn't the one. This was it. Monday. Well, no. This is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on the backside. Literally, guys, these 3-day longs and 3-day shorts, it's showing you the pump coil dump. That's the signal. It's signaling to look for a pump coil dump. When we look for 3-day shorts, it's signaling you to look for the dump coil pump. Literally. That's it. That's the sauce. My daughter's like repeating me in her room, and it's like hilarious. She's like, yeah, that's the sauce. Look, it's just a signal for a dump coil pump. That's all it is. It's signaling, hey, I need to start looking now for my setup. That's it. Dump coil pump, 2 days of shorts, pump coil dump, 3 days of longs. But people don't want to take signal days. Are you crazy? That's like hunting blind. Imagine that. Hunting blind. You get hit, ate up. 1, 2, 3. Sell high, New York. This is actually a trap and shift. Nail and bail. But you see what I'm saying? Maybe you're that type of trader. How's everybody doing? Is everybody with me? It's a great live. I'm definitely going to post this. Trend trade, boom. Signal on the day, but doesn't this look different than a pump coil dump? Why? Because you're going to see a dump into your session. If I'm looking for a pump coil dump, guess what? You're going to see a pump into your session. You're already on the backside here. Let me show a better example. That looks a lot different than, let's see, this. You see what I'm saying? This looks different than this. Russell and oil, can you snap? Can you show in 5 minutes that same day? Try oil, see if you can find anything. Yep, or the EU. What do you want me to find? EU is a London pair. Russell is a New York pair, and oil is a London pair. I would not look for oil in Asian session. So Russell, New York, oil, London, and EU, London. I can look at EU. I might look at that for Asia session. You guys got to go through Stacy's videos and see what pairs to trade during the timing windows. That's really important. He goes through that. Even in his newer videos, he'll tell you what pairs to look for during the session. Look what it's doing now. I could see it slightly. This would I fear though. If I was selling this, I'd probably only take it to here. We've created a lower low. Oops. We'll see. That looks good. But then again, like, I would rather trade this in London. EU. Same with GU. I would rather trade it in London. Yeah, yep. Those labeled on the right side of your screen are your signal days and on such instruments. Yes. This right here is my screener that I've created. It shows my watch list and the signals for the pair. So I literally just can you show this works with a stock? Yes. Sure. I can show that. Wait, did you just become a member, Moscow? Moscow. Did you just become a member? If you did, welcome to the team. APP. Stocks move slower. Oh, he says stocks move slower. That could be a good thing though. For some people. APP. Whoa, what is that? That can't be it. Are you talking about Apple? Yeah, you're talking about Apple. I'm like, what the heck is that? Now, why is this only showing New York? Market closed, NASDAQ by. Oh, this market's closed? Oh, well, yeah, duh. I don't know why it's only showing. Nope. No. Okay, hold on. Trading view tweaking. Go to your settings. Now what? It's got to be something in my settings. And extended. Where's that at? Events, trading, extended price line across the entire chart. Is this where I'm supposed to be at? Because I don't. Events, money, brackets, execution labels, no. Extended price lines across the entire chart, no. I don't know, y'all. I want to show you, but it's like this is only showing me New York session. It works. I just can't see any other session up here. I mean, technically, if I just wanted to trade New York. Why is it right here, though? That's weird. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. It works. It's just, I mean, as you can see, I got signals up here, but I don't know how to read this. Then go to the session and press electronic. How do you approach higher time frame? It only trades in New York. I only trade New York. Oh, okay. It only trades in New York. Okay, that makes sense. This was a buy low setup. Honestly, I can't really I'm not familiar with this, so I don't want to sit here and tell you and break this down because it's like, why don't you want to trade regular pairs? Why only stocks? How do you approach higher time frame? Maybe TradingView is not the best platform for you for stocks. Chart template. I kind of wanted to show y'all something. Let me just turn off certain settings. I'm gonna show y'all this real quick on the higher time frame. Show sessions, daily levels. Let's turn that off. Let's turn off. No, we can keep that, but we need to take this off. Let's go to the daily. Okay, here's the daily. All right. So right now, all I have up here are my weekly separators and my monthly separators. And you'll see the red lines are my weekly levels. And then the purple lines are my monthly levels, okay? So usually when it comes to the higher time frame, you can do what Stacy do. I have Thinkorswim. I started with stocks. I didn't know how to. This is why I struggle only trade New York. Oh, you started with stocks. I would really think about extended trading hours, bottom right. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Are you in my Discord, Macau? Are you in my Discord? Is Wednesday last week a first green day on gold that played on Friday? 1 second. I just want to go through the higher time frame for people real quick. As you can see, we've been in a range on US 30, most of the indexes actually. But how I look at the higher time frame, right? It's just like regular market structure. What do we do when we break out of an uptrend? Right? So, how I view market structure, before I tell you how Stacy views market structure, because it's similar, is if I know I'm in an uptrend, right? Then I would rather take first green days than first red days because those give you those like trades for days, right? So if I know I'm in an uptrend and we break out, pull back first red day, boom, breakout, pull back, first red day, boom. I mean, first green day, first green day. We haven't broken out of this level yet. We kind of fail, and then we get a first red day here at this. So, what I'm doing, right, is I'm literally marking my swing highs and my swing lows, and I'm seeing the first red days and first green days off of those levels. First green day, first red day, first green day, breakout, pull back, fail. First red day, that one was successful, but we are now in a range. We break back inside, we create a lower low, we pull back up to the high first red day, right? This one was kind of unsuccessful because now we're stuck in a range. You can only sell high and buy low, but I wouldn't do that in a range. But that's literally what I'm doing. I'm buying low and I'm selling high and I'm marking my swing highs. Look at this one. I know we're in an uptrend, right? So we break out, we pull back first green day. We break out. Now we're pulling back first red day. We pull back to where we broke out from first green day. Boom. We come back to the high. We try to break out and then we fail first red day. Now sell because we have broken back out after the pullback to fail. And then we get a trade back to the other side of the range and we're getting stops. They're becoming liquidated just to come back here and buy. Maybe not here, but here. So I'm marking my most recent, mark your most recent swing highs and swing lows and see what price does when it gets there on a daily time frame because a lot of the times sell, buy, sell, breakout, lower low on the inside, like we're trading in a range, we break out, we coil, right? Now we're back inside the range. Even if you have to mark like Stacy does the first day of the month, there's trades there. But what the thing about it is that people aren't patient enough to wait for the move. This is my low of the first day of the month. This is my high of the first day of the month. We coil at that high, we pull back down, and then we get a strong candle up. We break out higher high. We actually coil at this high and then we dump back down. We haven't invalidated this low though. So once we pull back in, we're now going sideways. So I told myself that I didn't want to trade this until we break out of this range. But when we break out of this range, it's going to go. And since we got a range expansion to the upside, I really feel like we're going to buy. We're going to buy because our lows are not being invalidated, but our highs are. You see what I'm saying? Our highs are being invalidated, but our lows are staying intact. So it's going to be interesting to see what the indices do. It might come back down here to go again. Who knows? Because we did break out. Now we're coiling underneath. We're back in the inside. So we'll just see how it plays out. But that's how I read the higher time frame. I'm marking my swing highs and my swing lows. This was the high. Boom. We pull back. We trend until we get to this high. And now we get a first red day. Boom. See? Here. You see? Mark your lows, mark your highs. Actually, I could put this right here. Eh. We break out. We pull back. Actually, we pull back here too. Wicks attract wicks. And an uptrend, resistance becomes support. First green day, boom. Higher high, we dump back down, we coil, and we pump. So that's all that I use the higher time frame for. I really don't use the higher time frame much, but it does help. It helps a lot. It's Wednesday last week, a first green day on gold that played on Friday. I'm pretty sure. Wednesday, yes, it was the first green day. First green day, boom. That was the first green day. You're already making higher highs. This, man, this looks good, y'all. This looks good. This looks amazing. Look, we broke out of this monthly range. We've made a higher high. We dumped back down. This long wick touched the monthly high that it broke out of. Now, resistance is support. Now we're starting to make higher highs and we're pumping. We could definitely see some buys for gold this week. Didn't want to join because I don't do futures, so I didn't think it would benefit me. It just depends on what you're looking for. I mean, it's up to you. It's not really, it's always going to be here, but people come to the community because they're trying to, like, get more clarity, lock in on their setup and signal and stuff like that. If you're just coming for the features, then I probably wouldn't join, because it's like, I'm more focused on the education part of it. People actually locking in and making money and not being confused and stuck, and so it's not for everybody. But if you're looking for a community to trade with and grow with, and all of that good stuff, then it's a great community. But if you don't need it, you don't need it. I mean, you said you trade stocks and stuff, so you know it's there whenever you need it. If you need it, you could already be successful, with whatever you got going on. Look, we break out of this structure, higher high, pull back, coil on top of the structure that we broke out of. This was like a monthly high that we broken out of, coiled, and kept going. Futures is good for taxes and options. Yeah, I get a lot out of your videos though, so thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you get value from my videos for sure. Keep doing. Are you consistent with your strategy, Macau? Looks, man, y'all. This looks so. Don't this look like a daily time frame dump coil pump right off the monthly high? Man, this looks so good, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm talking about on a silver platter. Wow, look at that. Higher high. We've dumped down. We've coiled at the monthly low. Interesting enough, this is the monthly low from last month. Look what we're doing right now. I'll tell you what, it's about to be an interesting couple of days, maybe even a interesting beginning of March. This is the last week of February, right? Yeah. Look at that, y'all. That's a big imbalance too. Monthly low level, first green day was successful. Now we've just kind of been bouncing in between. What I don't want is for it to give a first red day off of this high. That's what I don't want. I want it to break out with vengeance. We will see, but this really looks good. This looks good. Look at silver, y'all. What happened? Holy cannolis. Now imagine taking close and breakout signals only on this chart. Look at all of these close and breakout signals compared to these first red days and first green day signals. You would have been eating. Holy, Snap. This looks a lot like this. Where this happened right here, look, it made a higher high and then it dumped back down and coiled on top of what? The previous month's high. And then it went where the dump started, right? Boom. And look at this. When it broke structure, guess what it came and did? That's all you need. Now take your first green days. You see what I'm saying? Now take them because you've literally pulled back, coiled, higher high on the inside, dumped down. Now you're coiling on the higher time frame, on the daily. Imagine having trades for days. I'm talking days. Imagine holding this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Imagine holding that. Somebody that was like an expert held this right here. That's crazy. But if you just follow regular market structure, you'll be good. There are like thin lines and only some bars. I know how to do the extended hours, but there doesn't look like there's any volume. Yeah. Hold on. Let me. Okay, you're trying to figure it out. Hey, South Africa. Hey, hey. That's one of my peoples in my Discord. What's up, Ghost Lady? Nice to see you from South Africa. Yes, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Uh, what do y'all want to see? What's moving right now? Let's go to EJ. What's EJ doing? Oh, I'm still on stocks. There we go. Actually, I don't think this is the right one. I got to turn my lines back on. There we go. Yeah, that's how y'all know I be working. Look how many lines are up here. Bless me. Sorry. Let me turn my sessions back on, my daily levels. Boom. Okay. Man, we had some smooth trades from EJ and GJ last week. Look what I'm telling y'all. Look at this. We sold here. First red day. Look what happens. That's why when it comes to first red days and first green days, instead of working with the current week's high and the current month's high, I always like to work off the previous. I like a level to already be there. Put it that way. It just seems to have more success for me. I don't know why. But look at this week, last week for EJ, super smooth, lots of sales, my type of week, but I don't trade trends. These are trend trades because it wasn't at the high of day or the previous high of day. So I stayed away from it. Yes, US. They can. Okay, bet. Yeah, so man, but that's literally all your. Now look at this. Okay, let me clear my chart. I had 107 drawings. That's crazy. We broken out of this high and made a higher high. We pulled back and then looks like we're failing to reverse. We breached the previous day's low, y'all. Uh-oh. Depends on what we do right here, y'all. Who looking at EJ right now? Look what happened. I can't make this stuff up. Oh, you're trading EJ? This looks good. Look, we retested this. We made a lower low, preach of the previous day's low, lower low, pump coil. We've retested the structure that it broke out of. Engulfing candle. Now we're dumping first TP where the pump started. Right? So looks like a great trade to me. Nice pump coil dump. Trend trade. Nice. Let's look at GJ. GJ's probably doing the same thing. Yeah. This didn't make it quite there. But we breached the previous day's low and made a lower low. We pump, we coil. What line is this? I don't think this is any line. I think this is like a glitch. Yeah, that's a glitch. Whoever took EJ and GJ, congrats. No entry. Are you talking to me or Paulie? Cause this looks good. This looks really good, actually. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Here. Nice. Nice. Whoever took that. Me? Oh. I was like, wait. Nah, this not my type of setup, y'all. I like to sell the higher day, previous higher day type stuff. This is still, yeah, nice. I don't know if it's going to go all the way. Let me see. Let me scroll out a little bit. Oh, yeah. You failed here? Mm-hmm. Yep. Depends. First TP always. Can you please check Bitcoin? Look good though on the retest, don't it? Don't it? Bitcoin. Man, the people in my community took this trade. Let me tell you, stellar trade, absolute stellar trade. From the most recent high, it just started dropping. Honestly, I wouldn't even look at Bitcoin right now. You see how far that dropped? Wait till London session. That's a far drop right there. And that was coming from, look, a 3-day setup. Was this a first? Man, this was a first red day trade, y'all. Close and breakout, first red day. First red day trade. Then when Monday opens up, it just completes the pattern. It just dumps. Literally, it collapses. You already had the first red day trade that was successful. It breached the low, made a lower low, pumped back up to the most recent high. Remember, we're on the back side. We're on the back side already. So it will pump up to the most recent high, or it will literally retest where it broke out of, and then it'll give you the trade. It just so happened to happen today instead of this day. This should have happened on this day, but it didn't. This was at, let's see, Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I forgot this is a 24-hour market. So it's like I'm trying to do the weekly template, and I'm like, but wait, there's Saturday and Sunday. Can you please check? I already checked that. Yeah, so Bitcoin was a nice sell. I would wait, though. There's definitely going to be a pullback for sure. And we breached the weekly level here. This was the previous week's low. We've made a lower low. Maybe it will give you a sell here, but you just have to wait and see. I would not try to sell down low, though. That's not what you want to do. Don't sell down low. Definitely a market to sell, though. I mean, Bitcoin is dropping. It's been dropping. For real, you could have just been on Bitcoin and been like, I'm just going to take first red days or something. Boom. Boom. I mean, we know Bitcoin is selling. Took it yesterday, held until the low. Yeah. Took it yesterday. That's what's up. Nice. Mm-hmm. That was a nice trade. Great trade, actually. M patterns. M's locking the highs. Boom. You get lower lows from this low. This low is broken. This low is broken as well. starts going sideways. Right before New York opens up, you put in a lower low on the inside here. We pump back up and make support resistance. See? Great trade, Ghost Lady. Great trade. All right, guys. I've been on for about 2 hours now. Is there anybody else that has any questions? How money you got, Ghost? You trade in Bitcoin, big baller. I'm saying I don't even trade Bitcoin. These people are like insanely good. I don't know how y'all are trading Bitcoin, but that should say something about y'all. That means y'all are great traders. It's not a question. Anybody can do this. Close and breakout. These are great trades. Look at this 3-day long pattern. Literally, like I said, if you just don't know, if you haven't locked in on the setup, look for 3-day longs and 3-day shorts. 1 day of longs, 2 day of longs. Boom, Sunday. The sell at the high of day. I mean, the previous high of day. Look, you get a nice little M pattern, but you break out, you pull back, lower high, equal low. You don't get a lower low until here, but which pumps back up, and then you engulf at the EMA. But still, this is what you're looking for. Even here, this low, actually, this is an equal low. But the point is that you're selling high. Remember, this market closed in breakout. This is the high point, right? So if we higher high, we dump back down, and then we're going back up to the high to fail. That breakout has failed, especially if it breaches the opposite side. Boom. Now we have buyers trapped at the high of the week. You think they're going to let these buyers out? Absolutely not. And that closed as a first red day. Sell high again, high of day. This is a trap and shift, a top. You got a box here before your session starts. We break out, and then we immediately reverse. And what level is this? Coincidentally, this is here. Honestly, I don't know why that's significant. Maybe the closing price. I don't draw my closing price across, though. Trap and shift, nonetheless. Even if you wanted to wait for the lower low, you get the lower low here. We coil and we dump. Lower low, pump, coil, dump. Thanks for your time. You keep teaching, and I ain't giving up. I'm going to learn this shit. That's what I like to hear. It works on any market. Honestly, just being here and listening and studying your videos, like I did the same thing you're doing. Literally, you're probably doing more than what I did. So just keep doing it, keep working at it, and it's going to happen for you in no time. Trust me. It was like the slowest journey for me in the beginning because I'm like, I just can't get it. All these videos I'm watching, it was to the point where I'm watching videos and then I'm sitting here and I'm like, what did I just watch? I'm listening to Stacy, but like, it's like now I can't hear anything because I'm literally getting information overload. Or call them to adjust if you can. Okay, guys, sometimes Faze psychology hits. Hey, I'm thinking about creating a mindset playlist. Would you guys listen to that? I'm thinking about it because somebody told me to do like psychology videos and when to cut trades, when to hold trades, stuff like that. And I think that I'm going to do that for people because I think it would help. I could have used some mindset reset videos, especially like after you get out of a trade, especially a losing trade. That makes you want to crash out. But for real, I'm going to get off, guys. It was a pleasure being on live with you guys, talking to you, answering your questions. Hopefully you got some value from this. I'm going to drop this on YouTube. Just give me like 2 hours. I've been having a lot of issues with my lives for some reason. YouTube doesn't have the best quality when it comes to streams. However, I will post this. I appreciate you guys for showing up. I was supposed to only be up here for an hour, but I love you guys that much. So keep being great. I will see you on the next live. Ma Cow, keep going. Ghost Lady, keep going. Polly, keep going. What? Freaking Nicole, keep going. Rodney, keep going. Everybody in this Discord, you're great. Dinero, you already know the vibes. Come on now. Who else in here? Summit, keep going. I can't find anybody else. Everybody else quiet. Everybody in this chat, keep freaking going. You got this. All right. None of you in here are bad traders. We all lose the same. My win rate is between 40% to 60%. But the difference is that my wins are bigger than my losses. It's not the fact that you're a bad trader. It's just that you already know what you need to fix. So let's get it fixed. And I am here to help. So if you need a community, an indicator, or whatever, hit me up. My link's in my bio. And until we meet again, y'all, thank you for joining me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, honestly. Of course. Of course. Thank you. You're awesome. Have a great night, guys.